Welcome, guys. So for our town hall today, officially welcome to Deep Funding Town Hall. This is where we come together, all the circles and communities in deep funding. We come together to chit chat about what has been happening so far, new things, and anything anybody would like to share who is in this community. Okay. So if you are new here, feel at home. If you need tea, get some tea to sip on. If you need coffee, do the same. If you need water, you could do the same. And on the town hall, you could raise your hand, and then we could let you know if you want to talk or want to say something. You could raise your hand, call on you, you are mute, and you speak. And here we have a lot of fun and learn as well. So welcome, guys. And for today's town hall, we have a simple agenda, but very, very, very detailed. Emphasis on detailed. So for our agenda today, we are going to learn more about deep funding. We'll have a bit introduction about what deep funding is. Secondly, we are going to have a presentation from Deep Labs. And that side, we are going to have a lot of amazing things they'll be showing us. Deep Lab is an initiative from Deep Funding. And for this initiative, it's like a laboratory, right? They bring things, break them, develop them, fix them. So that's basically Deep Lab. So they'll be coming on the town hall today to tell us more about new things that are happening in there. We are going to have CRIPS updates from Riad, and I'm sure it will be exciting to hear from them since it's been a while we've heard from them. We will also have a community member spotlight, which will be led by our very own Mariam. And finally, we are going to have a brief presentation from our dearest friend who was recently part of one of the RFP winners. He's going to tell us more about exploring theoretical quantum computing models. So we should look out for that. Stay tuned, and here we go. So for introduction, what is Deep Funding? Someone will ask. Deep Funding is a decentralized grants program tasked to fund projects and initiatives that are beneficial to SingularityNET. And our mission is to create a democratic, decentralized, beneficial AGI. Our company values are openness, creativity, collaboration, and kindness. And these values reflect how we operate and intend to achieve our mission. So for Deep Funding, we need you. Deep Funding is a community-run program, as I've said earlier, and we have 5 main things we do in Deep Funding. So first of all, we have propose. So at this point, we call in everybody, builders, developers, anyone in the ecosystem, new, old, to propose any idea. You have idea about education, about medicine, any idea, you write in your proposal and submit it to us. Then this is where voters come in. So vote. So here we call on everybody to be part of those who vote for these ideas that has been proposed to become real, to be real. So your idea can be maybe to start a coffee shop, example, to start a coffee shop, and you write in your proposal to Deep Funding, and this is where the voters will vote whether your idea should be funded or not. So we have review. So for the review, you know that good ideas need thoughtful feedback, right? So this is where reviewers come in. You can volunteer to review proposals, evaluate their strengths, milestone, and make recommendations. And we have discuss. So this is where you join the conversation, like on the town hall today. You've joined the conversation on maybe social media, and then you are going to share your idea, discuss what the proposal is about, share your insights, ask questions, give feedback, or you could just listen in. If you're a shy person, you could just listen in, and everybody's voice matters. So we believe everybody has a contribution to make to this community. Finally, we have circles. So in Deep Funding, we are evolving, and we have circles, which are like structured groups. And these groups are focused on specific areas that help Deep Funding to grow and achieve its mission. So here is your town hall. On this town hall, we have everybody gathered here who is a community member, or whether you are new, you are still a community member. And here we discuss everything related to Deep Funding. And this is a perfect place to learn, ask questions, and start your Deep Funding journey. So for our community portal, you could find us on deepfunding.ai, or you could scan this QR code. You could connect with us. You could join circles, book presentation slots. You could check on the website and find our calendar where all events of Deep Funding will be posted on there. So you keep track on what is happening. You can also keep track of circle progress and work, because each circle has a particular thing they do in the community. So if you want to know more, you could go on the website and check that out. Your town hall, we want to hear from you. So you could book a presentation on the website, and then you could let us know. And on this town hall, we have opportunities laid down for awarded teams or those who want to share their projects to the community. They come on here and share, like how we will have today, later today. So you could do that. We could also host a breakout room for specific topics to discuss about things that will benefit the ecosystem as a whole. So once again, I would like to welcome everybody for being here and also taking part in today's meeting. Oh, give a round of applause for everybody. It's really good to see everybody here. I would like to see some interaction from you guys. Nice. So on our agenda today, first of all, we would ask the Deep Lab team if they are here. Godfred, are you here?
I am here.
Okay. So Godfred is the coordinator for our Deep Lab. So Godfred, please take over.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. But before I take over, we have Rama here, so I would want to pass the mic to Rama. If Rama has any opening remarks to make, then we just kick into business. Hi, Rama.
Perfect.
Hey everyone, how are you? Thank you for having us once more. We really appreciate it. I think the two pods that we are demoing today are going to be interesting pods. One came at the request of Yen and the marketing circle, and I think we've done a tremendous job of designing it. So we really hope that you would give us some feedback. You would tell us what we did right, what we did wrong, how we can improve it, and make it a useful tool for everyone. The second one is one that would apply to anyone that submit an idea or a proposal. So once again, it's one of those that most likely is going to be used by everyone. So please, don't hesitate. Let us know how we can do better, right? These sessions are great for us because they allow us to demo, to showcase what we are building, to showcase what we are doing together. But it's also good for us to hear how we can improve. So please don't hesitate. Thank you. And back to you, Godfrey.
All right, thank you, Rama. Yeah, so as Rama said, we'll be presenting on two pods today, the newsletter pod and also the AI refinement proposal too. Okay, so we'll start with the newsletter pod. We would want to use our time very quickly. So Phil, if you are here, I'd like you to
Yes, I am. I am. Thank you. Can you present your screen, Godfred, since you're going to take over the practical demonstration? Can Godfred have host controls to present, Priscilla? So thank you
Yes,
everyone for joining.
yes, you can present.
The presentation will be done in two parts. The very first part will be me giving you a bit of context about the newsletter tool. And the second part will be Godfred presenting, giving you a practical demo of the tool. So for context, like Rama said, the tool was basically proposed to us by Jan, who evolved the idea when he heard the need from the marketing circle to create a newsletter and basically when he heard the challenges the marketing circle would go through when they were wanting to create a newsletter. So the process would be lengthy because in order to create newsletters, the marketing circle would have to reach out to circle coordinators, right? And we're not all in the same time zones, right? We're not all available at the same time, and coordinators are extremely busy. So it could take from a week to 3 weeks just to gather the information, the newsworthy information that the circle coordinators want to present or want the community to know about, right? So that's the very first thing that the marketing circle aimed to solve for with by creating this tool. The second thing is that after gathering that information, the newsletter team would now struggle with identifying what was newsworthy, right? Right. First of all, it took them time to meet with the circle coordinator, to have the meeting with the circle coordinator. Now they have to identify what is newsworthy, what should they leave out, and then they have to comb through that content to have their newsletter building blocks, right? So the tool aimed to to solve for two challenges: streamline the information gathering process, make it as short as possible, right? And then the second goal is allow the newsletter tool to be able to have summaries of uploaded content and be able to have access to the building blocks really, really fast, right? So what you're going to notice what we did here is that we have three modules on this tool. So the very first module is the dashboard, which is where the suppliers who are the circle coordinators or the circle members or anybody who has access to the tool can go supply the tool with source information. So the tool has the feature for uploading documents, PDFs, images, videos, links, all types of information can be uploaded. So now instead of the circle coordinator instead of the newsletter team having to now call every circle coordinator and ask them, what is newsworthy? What are you working on? What information would you like to share with the community? And waiting for them to reply, right? Which might take a very long time. This allows now for the circle coordinator at any given time to just come over here and upload any information in the form of a document, in the form of a video, in the form of a link, right? And build the source repository for the newsletter team to use, right? Now, the second module, the Q&A module, is where the newsletter team can at any time come and be able to query the information uploaded by the circle coordinator. So now, not only the time that it takes to gather information is reduced considerably because they don't need to meet anymore. They don't need to align on calendars. They don't need to have a meeting. At any given time, the coordinator can come upload his document. But when the documents are uploaded and it's that time of the month to craft the newsletter team can come here and just query that source information, right? And just ask the AI, okay, what are maybe the 5 awarded teams for round 4? If that information has already been uploaded, the AI is going to provide that answer, and these answers can serve as the building blocks for the newsletter, right? So that's how we solve for both problems: getting access to the building blocks and being able to streamline and reduce the information gathering process. Now, the third module, which is the newsletter itself, we actually took our mission a bit further, right? Instead of just giving them the ability to query a source repository and gather the building block for the newsletters, we give them the ability to generate the newsletter right away, right? So what can happen here is that at any given time when the newsletter team comes here, they can select from any of the sources, any number of the sources that have been uploaded by circle coordinators and just generate a newsletter automatically. I hope I didn't take too long. I was supposed to take 3 minutes. I'm going to make the discourse short and give the floor to Godfred to show you a practical application of the tool. And at the end, we can have the questions. Thank you, everybody. Cheers. Go ahead, Godfred.
Thank you, Gail. Okay, I'll get right into it. So on the dashboard, you have the ability to add sources to it. So as Gail was saying, you can add multimodal files. So we'll try with a file first. What I'll do is upload a PDF version of a file. So just click on it and choose this, and I'll just upload it. So what this is doing is that it's taking the content from the file and also providing a summary version of it as well. Okay, so let's give it a couple of minutes, seconds, should be up and. All right, good. So as you can see over here, this is the document we just uploaded. When you click on view source, you are able to get a summary of it, and also you're able to get the original content as well. So if you want to read, you can read both and compare for yourself. Okay. Another option, there are two ways of uploading files. So it's either you go with the uploading the media type itself, or you go with the manual entry. So the manual entry, you get the option of putting the title, writing source content over here. So let's just go through this. So I have a couple of test data you can use. Okay, I'll just put this one over here. I'll attach a document to it. So as you can see, you have the ability to upload a text file as well. So not just a PDF, you can upload a couple of file types as well. So once I upload it, it goes through the file and paste the content over here. Can as well click on summarize to give me a summary of it. So once it's doing that, I'll grab the source link of the particular document I just uploaded. Okay, good. So I paste the URL over here and I give it a category as well. And I just click on add. As you can see, it's been able to add the document I just uploaded through the manual entry. If you guys remember, I added a source URL. So there is an icon over here which indicates that there is a link that has been attached to this particular upload. If you click on this icon, it should take you to the source URL you added to the manual entry. So that is the capabilities of using these both entry sources. So that is that for the dashboard, and that is how you get documents into the repository. Now let's go to the Q&A, and I'll try querying the first document you uploaded, which was the project requirement for an internal AI-powered newsletter tool. All right. So I got a couple of questions here. I want to ask it. Okay, so one first question could be, what is the main purpose of the newsletter? So for context, I have already generated a couple of questions here already just to make this quicker, but I believe you get the intent of this. You are literally querying information. You are literally querying questions based on the content you've already uploaded or based on the content that has already been uploaded. So let me give it a couple of queries so that we see that it's working as expected. So the first query gave us an answer. The main purpose of the tool is to significantly reduce the manual efforts involved in drafting newsletters by automating the process of information gathering, so forth and so on. So let's continue with it. Who's expected to use this tool the most? As you can see, let me remove this. As you can see, we are getting response from here as well. It's primarily designed to be used by reviewers, especially expert reviewers, to support and scale. Okay, very good. Very good. So this is one thing I want to point out. As you can see, this question was supposed to get a response from the newsletter upload, but as you can see, it's giving a generic answer based on some of the uploaded documents. So this is where, when you are querying the AI, you should still give it a context because you've uploaded a couple of documents which has different contexts. So when you're asking a question like this and you want an answer from, let's say, the newsletter document you uploaded, you should give it a context. So let's try it again. what is expected, who is expected to use the newsletter to. So as you can see, the newsletter tool is primarily intended for marketing and other circles within the organization, as well as DF circle members to query updates, reduce manual efforts in newsletter drafting and production. As you can see now, it's giving the expected response we wanted. So although this is getting information from uploaded documents, you should still provide context when you are querying information, right? Good. So basically, that is how you are able to use the Q&A. So this applies to the newsletter team when they want to get some insights from any uploaded documents. They can as well just go ahead and play with conversational queries and get some insights from a bunch of documents that has been uploaded, which will inspire the newsletter they want to create. So now let's move to the last module, which is the newsletter generator. Let me move this over here. So as you can see, on your left side, that is select content, you see all uploaded documents. So you can either select one or a couple of them. Let's try with one. So I just click on the first one, and let me just leave the title as it is and click on generate. So here you're expected to get a draft newsletter based on the content of that particular selected source. All right, so as you can see, it gives a draft newsletter. What newsletter? Yeah, let me put it that way. But yeah, this is where the newsletter team can review and consider taking this on and sending it to us, as well, just edit it, right? So that is for selecting just one content. Now let's go way further and select multiple content. Updated. Oh, okay. Let me just put this and click on generate. So now what we expected to see is a newsletter generated based on these two sources that has been selected. Yep. So as you can see, title unlocking efficiency, how AI is transforming our operations. So it gives you all of this, and this will be in the hands of the newsletter team to review this. As you can see, it is a draft and you can copy it. So you are not literally saying this is what you are supposed to send, but it helps you sort of reduce the manual effort you are supposed to put in to generate a newsletter. So thank you. This is where I'll bring my demo to an end. Are there any questions?
So thank you, Godfred. Yeah, so are there any questions for us? We'd love to take your questions and help us improve based on what the little we've been able to share. Thank you.
So any questions for the pod? Any questions? Okay.
I have one.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. It's really great. It's interesting because we drafted some ideas in these directions in the past, and seeing done is great. Um, this will be like, will this be available for any user or, I don't know, Deep Funding community to generate, I don't know, like newsletter for project updates or something similar, or just internally?
So to answer to your question, I would ask Rama if he's available, because the labs is basically for experimenting and getting out the first MVP, the prototype,
Okay.
and then the roadmap, once it becomes something official, can be decided by the entire community. So perhaps Rama Zumaleto and Yan have already have a vision, and perhaps your contribution or your question now can provide us thought, right? Food for thought. And do we want to enable that capability for any member in the future? I don't know if it's already been discussed. Rama, you can answer. Thank you.
Yeah, Andre, great question. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the initial idea of the lab is that we build the solution, the prototype, and once it's ready and adopted, we take it back to the clusters, and the clusters decide if we're going to roadmap it, we're going to give what team is going to use it. We do know that predominantly the first team that's going to have use of this is going to be the marketing circle because it is most relevant to them. However, I don't think it is out of scope for anyone within the community to make use of this tool. However, I would like to caveat that by saying that the cluster can decide different, right? But until we have those conversations, I can be 100% sure.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Any other questions? Rama, I like your avatar though. It looks just like you.
Except it's a lot skinnier than I am.
Oh, but it looks fine. It looks fine. Okay, so next on our agenda.
Hello, Priscilla.
Hi.
We still have one part
Oh,
left. I believe we have.
I'm
We still
sorry.
have.
Please continue. Sorry.
No worries, no worries. Okay, so our last presentation will be on the AI refinement proposal 2, and I'll call on Ebenezer to help present that. Ebenezer, are you here? Oh, Stone. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Hello, everyone. So I'm here to do a presentation on AI refinement 2. So kindly permit me to share my screen. Madam Host.
You can share a screen now.
All right. Okay. I hope my screen is visible now.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sure. Well, so my name is Ebenezer Entry-Bedu, but then you can call me Stone. All right. So I'm here to do a presentation on the AI refinement tool. It's actually a proposal refinement tool. So this tool is to enable proposers refine their proposal before submitting. Okay. So this is to clearly state that whenever a proposer is submitting their proposal, they are able to see the percentages attached to the clarity of their proposal and also know whether their proposal is meeting the requirements. Okay, so this is just a simple tool to use. Now, when you get to the first page, the first thing to do as a proposer is to edit the guidelines, right? So here, this is where you put the RFP guidelines. So I've already pasted that because I don't want to be delaying. Okay, so you paste the RFP guidelines over here, then you click on save. Then there's a proposal title. So I took this proposal from the RFP page. Okay, so the title is A Logical Language of AI and Physics. And the team name is HEDSEC. Then there's a summary or abstract for the proposal. So that's over there. Let's move to the next page. Good. So there's a section for the problem statement. So this is where the proposer will state the problem that they want to solve or the problem that they have found. Then the next section is where the proposed solution is pasted. Okay, so let's move to the next page. So here is the impact and audience. So going through the proposals on the RFP page, I realized that there is no portion for target audience. So that's the reason why I placed the NA over there. So we will recommend that going forward, there will be a portion for that, because it's really important, because you need to have a target audience that you are actually looking at to build the project for. Because if you want to solve a problem, then definitely there should be a target audience. Okay. Then there is an impact section where the impact that the project is going to make on the society will be pasted. So I pasted the impacts of the project over here. So let's move to the next page. This page is for the technical details. So the technical implementation details of the proposal or the intended project will be pasted here. So here the proposal needs to put in a vivid technical implementation. Okay, then let's move to the next page. Good. So here we have the team experience. So this is where the team will list their experience and their backgrounds over. Sorry, they will list their experience and backgrounds here. So this is for the team experience and their bio. So I've done that for this particular project. And this is the milestone page. So this particular side is really important, because here the proposer needs to tell us what the roadmap or the blueprint they are using, right? So going through the proposal on the RFP page, I didn't see the estimated duration. So this is just a forged estimated duration. So the milestone one, the architecture survey and integration blueprint, then estimated duration. I placed 1 month over there. And there's a portion for the description of the milestone and the deliverables of the milestone, as well as the budget for the milestone. So this is for the milestone 1. And there's a button beneath that. If, let's say, there are more milestones that the proposer needs to add, the proposer can click on that and then add the next milestone. So this particular project had 3 milestones, right? So the milestone 1 over there, which has a budget of $8,000, and the milestone 2 with all the details over there. Then the budget also, same applies to the milestone 3. So let's move to the next page. So here, the proposer needs to put in the total budget requested. So the total budget requested for this particular project was $40,000. Okay, so now let's move to the next page where we review and analyze the entire proposal. Okay, so here you are being asked if you are ready for the feedback from the tool. So you can go through the entire stuff that you pasted in the system as the proposal. And then from there, you can click on the Analyze Proposal button to get your results. So let's do that. Okay. Wow, this thing's taking long. Okay. Great. So when we look at the right-hand side of the page, we can see proposal health, which we had 90%, showing that the proposal is well structured and clear. And when it comes to clarity, it had 85%. The milestones too had 90%, technical completeness had 92%, and alignment with the RFP guidelines also had 95%. So this shows that the project or the proposal is excellent for submission. Okay, so there is the AI feedback beneath the proposal health. Yeah, so as you can see, strong alignment with RFP. So it's actually complementing what we have above in terms of clarity, milestones, technical completeness, and alignment. So strong alignment with RFP, detailed technical approach, well-defined milestones. Then here, because in the target audience, I placed NA over there, it is telling me that the target audience field marked as NA, while the proposal is highly technical, clearly defining who would benefit most from this research could enhance the proposal's overall appeal and perceived impact. Consider adding a brief description. Yeah. So this is the feedback that the proposer will get before making a submission. So this is to enable the proposer to get a refined version of their proposal before making a submission. Thank you. So this is my presentation for today. Please, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask.
Thank you, Stone. Before any questions, I would like to add a little bit of context to it. So this particular tool was benchmarked against the approval and rejection rates from the review circle. So in the edit guidelines, because this is an MVP tool, ideally, when this is being moved to a different platform, or let's say it's for the Deep Funding.ai proposal form itself, you are not supposed to see edit guidelines. So edit guidelines is supposed to come from the RFP guidelines itself. So if you are submitting a proposal for an RFP, it is going to be inserted there automatically. But because this is an MVP, we put these edit guidelines over here so that we'll be able to test with a couple of RFP guidelines. Okay, so this is the context behind this particular tool. So if you have any questions, you can please ask. Oh, wow. I really did a good job there. No questions. Thank you all. Thank you, Priscilla. Oh, we have.
Thank you.
Oh, Riad has a question. Please, Riad, you could unmute and speak.
Yeah. Hey guys, great presentation. I was just gonna ask that. So this is basically directed to the end user who submits a proposal, right? To monitor or to track the progress of their proposal, right?
Yes, you're right.
Okay. Yeah, that was just that was a question that I wanted to clarify. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Deep Lab, for this beautiful presentation. We will make justice to these tools really well. We will. Okay, so next on our agenda, we have an update from Crips, and Riad will be the one to give us that update. We could give a hand of applause to welcome Riad. Yes, thank you, guys. Thank you. Riad, we can't hear you in case you're on the speak. You're muted.
I was talking to myself, sorry. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, so I'm gonna make it short and fun since everyone been asking about CRISP. What is CRISP? People are excited to know what CRISP is, and nobody, everything was happening sort of behind the scene. So I think it's time for everyone in the community to know what CRISP is. So I mean, it's a shortcut. I mean, of course, the shortcut stands for Community Review and Ideation Selection Process. So Chris came out of the idea, I think, or it was based on the RFP ideation process that started a while back. Chris basically, let's say, is the filter that goes through these ideas and with the which make an idea reach into an RFP ideation, like into an RFP. Eventually, we evaluate the idea, we analyze the idea, and then it goes into the final stage with where it could be selected for an RFP. But practically, it's not only about filtering. The process is way, like, it's much more beyond that. Chris is also establishing the fundamentals of the process of the idea selection, starting from the evaluation, using the best criteria for an idea to be passed further, to improving the actual idea submission that we have right now, to make sure that every participant, submit their best idea, which eventually will reflect in high quality ideas. Chris, for now, I would say it's not a work group. It's not a circle per se. Let's say it's a temporary structure that we have right now. The administrative part is handled by the review circle because we have many other priorities to take care of rather than actually focusing on the administrative part in terms of what, whether we are a circle or work group or whatever. Now, Crisp also established something called pre-crisp, now, which might be confusing, but let me just explain what pre-crisp is. So pre-crisp would also help us in scaling the review process because, for instance, we have hundreds of ideas that are submitted, right? And when you go even beyond the thousands, it'll be very difficult to practically go through each and every idea by the CRISP members. So pre-CRISP came in to scale the review process, as I said. Let's say so the pre-CRISP is also another group of filtering. Let's say they do the early stage filtering kind of thing, which would minimize the number of ideas that would be passed to the CRISP, which is, let's say, the final filter. Pre-CRISP follows slightly different criteria from the CRISP, but everything is coherent in a way that the process you know aligns between the pre-crisp and the crisp into the best filtering possible in terms of the criteria, I would say. um Quick heads up about when did we start. So crisp was officially launched, I think, around 26th of June, a couple of months ago. The deadline for crisp to come up with a framework and establish all the rules and fundamentals, like a 6 month. The main objective is basically to lay down the fundamentals that can be used later by other members, as I said. And honestly, it's been a wonderful couple of months full of challenges, new learnings, and achievements. The current progress, I would say, and updates since we started, what we've been able to achieve so far. So practically in a couple of days, we'll be celebrating the monthly anniversary, I would say. We have encountered some challenges since then, starting from losing two of our members to figuring out the most effective way, for evaluation. How should we move further? After our deadline, because CRISP is rotational, so every 6 months there'll be different new members. So we're still figuring out that policy. Figuring out also how to find the right people who are a good fit for crisp and pre-crisp as well. But right now, so the review process is done by the crisp, and the pre-crisp, I think it's almost done as well. We have onboarded two new crisp members to replace the old people we lost. We're working on enhancing both the crisp and pre-crisp review processes, making sure that we basically are aligned in a sequential order of filtering. We also introduced the idea of a golden ticket, where each member get to select an idea that they selected stands out and defend this idea, which makes it pass in case it didn't reach the minimum criteria of passing. Uh, we are also still figuring out the best way of reviewing fellow colleagues and community members' ideas in a transparent way that makes sure that there's no bias towards any idea. Because if we see an idea that's submitted by someone who might we might know personally from the community, then we have to be transparent about it, and there should be no bias towards any idea. So that part is still being figured out. Considering that this is a new process, a new group, we are establishing everything from scratch, we thought that it's a good idea to go through each and every idea by every member, even though there are hundreds of ideas. But because we want to make sure that there is no scope for mistakes, there is a scope for grabbing data, establishing rules, and, as I say, putting the fundamentals in an early stage. So we have a lot of things that we're doing manually on purpose, just as I said, because we want to collect data, note down the guidelines and tips that can even make the process more structured and aligned in the future. We might be introducing a community voting after the final selection of the ideas, which we are going to announce later. But this part is still I would say under discussion. And we also started discussing the governance principles of the CRISP, along with the rotation policy as well. So yeah, these are our updates. Any questions are welcome.
Questions for Riad? Do anyone have any question?
Well, I think I
Okay.
also did a good job then.
Yeah, I think so. Thank
Lovely.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the updates. So next on our agenda, we have our very own Mariam. She's going to present another community member here and tell us more about them. Hi, Mariam. Hello.
Hi, hello. So sorry. My headphones were acting up. Hello, everyone. Hi.
Hello.
Okay, you can hear me. Great. Hello, everyone, and welcome to I believe this is the Town Hall 71. And welcome. And as has been our tradition for the past couple of town halls, welcome to the spotlight segments where we shine spotlights on very important members of our community, just to learn a little bit of who they are and what they do and how we can collaborate with them, and what inspires them, the questions that you might not be able to ask in a circle collaboration kind of conversation. And every member of our community is important. But today our MVP is going to be Rebel from the marketing circle. Hi, Rebel. Are you on the call? Hello.
Hello, Miriam. Yeah, I'm on the call.
Okay. Hi, Rebel. How are you?
I'm good. And you? And hello, everyone.
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. So yeah, thank you, Rebel, for being here with us today in this capacity as our MVP of the night. So as usual, we have a couple of questions that we'd like to ask you. And for you, our audience, as you're listening, if you relate to something he's saying or you have a question you'd like to ask, just drop it on the chat box or, raise your hand and we'll get right to you. If we have shared interests, stuff like that, just communicate it in whatever way that you can via the chat box or by raising your hand to speak. Okay, so Rebel, thank you again for being here. My first question is this. When you think about your journey so far, what is a moment that still feels unreal to you?
Oh, okay. So yeah, a moment that feels unreal to me is being here at Deep Funding. Like a while ago, maybe a year ago, I was in university, in my final years, probably 2 or 3 months left for graduation. So, but I'm always curious about the Web3 space, I was always learning, exploring, and I was somehow tied to close to some ecosystem, the Cardano. So I began wondering, like, are there any other initiatives like the project Catalyst? And I just asked GPT, okay? So it gave me some names like Balancer Grant and Deep Funding. So when I was exploring Deep Funding, I see a job opening, they were looking for a marketing talent. And when I go through the description, it felt like something that I could do and something that I can grow into, So I applied, and yeah, I'm here. So when I think about it, it feels unreal. If you ask me maybe a year ago, where do you yourself after a year? I might say anything, but not Deep Funding, So it feels unreal to me.
Oh, that's really beautiful to hear. That's very, very beautiful and very, very warm to hear. Just in 1 year, you've done so much as part of the marketing circle and as part of the larger collective that is Deep Funding. And I'm glad that, ChatGPT gave you good answers when you needed it. So, yay. It almost feels like a full circle moment, and at least it's something that is leading up to many, 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 many things. So, yeah, thank you for sharing. All right.
Yeah.
My next question would be this: what values or principles guide the way you make decisions, both in work or in life?
Yeah, so mostly my faith shapes my decision, So I'm a Christian, so as a Christian, mostly I draw my decisions from the values of the Bible. So that keeps me grounded, and that ensures my action reflects not only the goal I'm pursuing, but also my principles.
That is very beautiful. As a Nigerian Christian myself, in a time where it's really hard to be Christians because of a whole lot of issues in the country, I think it's really commendable that the principles that guide your work and guide the decisions you make in life is rooted in your faith. And that is really beautiful to hear. And, fellow Gen Z to Gen Z, I hope you are Gen Z, but fellow Gen Z to Gen Z, yeah, faith rocks, But yeah, that's so beautiful to hear. Okay,
Yeah.
so my next question. Everyone has seasons of doubt, right? Every human being on the planet, we all have our seasons of doubt. But what keeps you going when things feel uncertain?
Yeah, so okay, I believe that everything will pass, not only the bad things, even the good things, they will pass. Nothing is permanent, So when I'm in season of doubt, the first thing I do is go back to the purpose. Why do I start, So if I start believing that what I do, what I'm just doing, then I'll just think that, okay, this is just part of the journey. It is a challenge. So try to stay on the lane, do your best, and let those emotions pass. And if I need to reflect, I will, and I take time. But at the end, I choose resilience and keep moving forward.
That's really beautiful. This too shall pass is such a nice philosophy to have as regarding doubts and even the good things of our lives, right? Nothing really is so permanent and we just have to keep it moving. That is really, really beautiful to hear. And I hope this serves as a reminder to somebody out there who might listening or watching the replay, whatever, that this too shall pass. Doubt or greatness, everything. It's a very fickle life. But the good thing is that nothing really lasts, and we can find
Yeah.
fulfillment in the good and the bad and the hard and the difficult and the really easy. So yeah, thank you, Robel. You're doing great so far. Okay, so my next question is this: if you could describe the essence of your work, why you do what you do, or your passion in one word, what would it be and why?
Yes, so I would say impact. That word would be impact. I always believe that I can create change, especially within my community. For me, the impact is like helping others see things differently. Opening space for new perspectives and creating that spark in the social circle. So it's not always about solving every problem, but about bringing important topics to light and creating that option for solutions. So sometimes it might be I might be serving as a mediator to foster a dialogue or something, but I'm always aspire to create an impact, especially in my community.
That's really great and very commendable. Kudos to you, aspiring to create impact in all that you do. I think that that's very, very great and something we can all draw from. thinking when we are conscious of the fact that our actions and our inactions, our validations and our lack of validations of the things that happen in our lives and the things that happen in our communities have ripple effects that we may not always see, right? Your kindness today brings a good turn tomorrow. Your silence today can lead to a catastrophe tomorrow. And so once we realize the power that we do carry as people working on earth, we really can see that life really is more than us and our own experience of it. So yeah, thank you, Rebel. I like that word impact. Okay, so yet another question. Is there a lesson that you've learned the hard way, but now you see it as a gift?
Yeah, okay. So I would say like trust isn't something that you give freely to everyone, It's something that should be earned. I used to just believe people, give trust to them, and I have got through some disappointments, and I realized that it's not always the case, Now I see it as a gift because it taught me to be more careful. So trust should be something that grows over time as you really get to know people more,
I think I hear a hint of sadness in that, but also a bit of strength and courage. Yes, trust is something that should be earned. But I'd like to hear from you guys listening to Rebel and I. What do you think on the subject of trust? Should it be earned? How long does it take to earn? Are there criteria for you as a person that you look out for when giving your trust? I wonder, what does giving your trust out to somebody typically looks like? If you could just share in the chat box so that Rebel doesn't feel alone in this philosophy of his, which is actually a great philosophy and a very cautious one. So yeah, please just share in the chats while we continue. Okay, so Rebel, what is one perspective or truth that you hold today that your younger self might have resisted or even disagreed with? So let's think back. Freshman year Rebel, what would he have disagreed with that you currently believe now?
Okay, yeah, I mean, failure is not like something that you should consider it as, as a negative side. It's somehow part of who you are and part of experiencing new things and learning, so you shouldn't just avoid doing things because you are not ready to take risks and you are afraid to fail. Okay, just try, and if you fail, you learn from it, there is nothing as losing. There is a saying that you either win or you learn. So now I believe that, but I was afraid to take risks back when I was younger, I guess.
That's something that we can all relate with. Our abilities to take risks can be rooted in so many things, but majorly it's often because of how we see failures or how we've even been conditioned to see failures, right? So if we grew up in environments that did not exactly give us love or grace, we often we associate our self-worth with our achievements or our lack thereof, and it can really quite get messy. But I'm really glad that Gen Z 2025 Rebel accepts failure as part of the journey and is able to learn or win and keep it moving. So yeah, that's really great. Maybe if somebody invents a time machine, do you think somebody can invent a time machine? I think that would be possible. If somebody invents a time machine, I think that might be an interesting conversation to have with your younger self. Okay, so well, not exactly last but not least, because I have a surprise question for you. But my next question is this: as you look ahead, what kind of impact, because you had said the word impact, yay, but what kind of impact do you hope your contributions here in deep funding and beyond will leave on others?
Okay, yeah. So in deep funding, we are working mostly with AI tools, right? So and I
Yeah.
believe that AI is still in its early stage. Like think of it as a beta version, So every decision that we make now will have an impact on its entire future, So at deep funding, we are at the forefront of the decentralization, okay? So I want my contributions as a marketer, as a marketing team member, to help people understand the importance of decentralization. Through the marketing, I aim to show how AI can be a tool for good, accessible and responsible by everybody, beneficial to the society. So I hope to inspire those who have the ability to make those changes, to make the ethical choices. Okay.
I hope so for you too, and that is a very bold vision. And because of the community that we have here at Deep Funding, and because of the talents that you are, it is a very achievable vision. So kudos to you. Now for my surprise question: if you were a bottle of shampoo, what would be your fragrance?
Okay, so yeah, I mean, maybe lemon. I like the fragrance of lemon.
Ooh,
I really do.
citrus guy. Oh, that's nice. That's lovely.
Yeah.
I think a lemon shampoo would be nice. It would be nice.
Yes,
Maybe add
I
some
do like.
tea tree. Hmm. Let's get into deep funding shampoo making workshop or something. But you guys drop in the chat box if you were a bottle of shampoo, what would be your fragrance? I think I'm a vanilla babe. Vanilla just works, to be very honest, for everything. So vanilla would definitely work. Okay, so Rebel, I think that's the end of our spotlight today. Thank you for being our guest today. You are such an amazing guest. Thank you for your very, very brilliant answers and your very insightful comments and the experiences that you've shared with us today, and your contributions here at Deep Funding. On behalf of Deep Funding staff and every member of Deep Funding, we want to say thank you for being such a crucial member of our community. We see you, we love you, we value you, and we are excited about building with you. Your vision is achievable, and we are going to make sure that we achieve it together. Thank you, Rebel. Virtual applause, guys. Virtual applause.
Thank you. Thank you to you, to Mariam, and thank you to everyone who is in Deep
Yay.
Funding.
All right, thank you, Rebel. I says coconut, and you know what? That makes sense. That actually, I'm not even surprised that Ayo
Likewise,
wants to be.
I'm not surprised he chose coconut.
I'm not surprised he's choosing coconut. But we've had very interesting responses on the trust question. Charlie says, I attempt to, though I don't always succeed at trusting others at least to some degree by default in some sense. I think that it's easier to lose trust quickly, whereas the strengthening of trust is usually a bit slower because it's a cumulative thing with someone who I haven't interacted with previously. Emmanuel says, trust is an important tool on the road to success. Know it, learn it, manage it, like mic drop. And then Abdul says, I trust easily and I've always been a victim many times. That makes me come in terms with me to have zero level of trust while relating with people. The reason why I love decentralization and smart contract evolution. Very, very lovely and insightful.
For
Aya
Abdul's
says he's very
opinion,
trusting.
For
Yeah.
Abdul's opinion, I would reach out to him later to find out more. Maybe there is more to it than just what he's saying.
Oh, certainly. I do think that there's more to what everybody has said, but I do encourage us to really question why we feel the things that we feel, especially when it comes to the human experience, so that we don't, carry on trauma that we should have just left years ago, right? Just basically investigate your emotions in every sense of the word. It really just helps. But yeah, trust people, don't trust people. You know what, you guys, do you finally do you. Thank you guys, and thank you for listening so far. Priscilla, over to you.
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Robel. Thank you for everybody who wrote something in the comments. And it's good to see Tommy here. Okay. So next on our agenda, what I've been waiting for all this time is to have a presentation from someone very special. Okay. So his name is André. Hi, André.
Oh, hello, everyone. Hello.
Hi. This is your time. So please tell us more. Tell us more about your work and yourself. And would you like to present anything?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Let me try again.
Yes, you can share now.
Okay, I'll share the desktop and I'll try to make everything work well. Take a look. Can you see this fitting your whole screen?
Yes, I can see it.
That's great. So thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here now as a proposer. So I saw two different announcements of my presence here. One to explain this project, another one to explain the implications of decentralized agents for AI robustness. And I would love to talk about that in another meeting because this is a very exciting project that we are carrying on. However, today I separated some slides to discuss with you our project in quantum computing and its relevance on AI development. I believe Igor Oliveira is still here. He's a team member that is working with me in this project. We have worked before on doing complex science research. So today we are going to learn about more about our team and about our project. So my name is André Vilela. So it's nice to meet you all. And we have a scientific group. It's called From Science Research Group. You can visit our website to learn more about us and maybe propose collaborations. So we are scientists and we are excited in discover new things, and propose solutions. So the idea of this project, of this From Science project, is to gather together our scientists. So we have multidisciplinary like effectiveness when working in science. So our research orbits around complex systems, and since AI is also a complex system, now we are seeing this intersection with quantum computing. So you are going to see myself there, André Vilela. I'm a full professor and an associate researcher of different universities, one in Brazil and other one in the USA. We have Gabriel Dias Carvalho, which is an associate professor, and his area of expertise is quantum information theory and quantum computing. We have here in this meeting Igor Oliveira, which is a researcher in complex systems, quantum computing, and machine learning. He's also a member of our team, Matheus Granha, which is a researcher in complex systems, and he has some wonderful work on financial market analysis and modeling. And you have Kyle Silva, which is also a researcher, and he's working on a project that relates blockchain technology and AI for robustness. The idea is to work with decentralized decision maker to create an AI system that is robust to external attacks. So we have over the years we have a bunch of papers, almost I don't know, maybe 50 or 60 papers published in different areas, and the strong foundation of what we are doing is try to connect scientific advancements with the development of new technologies and new understandings of the problems that we face today that may span since, I don't know, particles in a physical system or in a biological system to whole economies and the security and defense industry of countries and world regions. So we have work that spans over that. And this From Science vision is to promote this connection between science and technological advancement. And I believe that complex systems, complex science is intrinsically related with the developments that we are seeing today, related to the emergence of the data and the emergence of decision systems like the AI systems that we use today. And our idea was to produce some robust scientific discoveries to promote the advancement of such fields. so of the data analysis, of the data modeling, quantum computing technologies. And you're going to see that you have data science and analytics as one area of our research. We also have quantum computing, of course, complex system modeling. I believe that in the past, one of our team members proposed another voting system for the deep funding that might take its place soon. We also have some network science and network analytics, where we investigate how distributed systems can be robust and resist some external attacks, or we can also use this network vision that we have to promote like optimizations. So you wanna trade oil globally, and you would love to know what is the shortest path and how you can save significant amounts of money by changing the route of the oil that you are going to, I don't know, deliver or buy. So we work in such problems. We also work in time series investigation, where we try to characterize a time series and try to obtain data to see if the price of some stock is gonna crash, or it's gonna, I don't know, maybe increase in value in a very short amount of time. And we also have this distributed decision-making component, that the idea is to promote systems that has replicas around the world or different locations, where if one agent tries to use a quantum computing to break your chain, to break your keys, then you have a decentralized system that cannot be attacked at the same time. So you can detect the attack and work with the copies that you have, similar to a blockchain in a ledger system. So it's really exciting. And we also have some components on education and scientific training that we delivered, like we used to deliver a whole year, every year, one nice work in this direction. So this is the expertise that we have, and based on this, we proposed research on, it's titled Quantum Computing Intelligence and Applications. And the main objective, we are going to try to give you like a specialized view of how uh, quantum computing can improve and promote the AGI. And we are trying to connect this with the OpenCog Hyperion framework. And to obtain this result, we want to pursue some specific objectives that we are seeing on your screen right now. So for now, we are working with the first one, examining some quantum computing paradigms. And since our project started, I don't know, maybe last week, so we already organized our team towards the project, and we are already doing some research and having some discoveries about that. And we want to investigate some quantum properties and its relation with the AGI. And we want to evaluate limitations, like because when working with quantum technology, we still have so many issues with error, and it's hard to maintain those states for a long time. So it is still challenging from an engineering point of view to deploy such quantum stable technologies, and you want to face that. And we are going to write some codes, quantum codes and quantum simulations, and assess the applicability to AGI. And we want to promote a symposium. So by the end of this project, we want to have an international event where we are going to discuss about our findings, invite speakers to talk with us, and enlighten the community, the deep funding community, about our findings in the quantum computing technology and artificial intelligence in general. So I believe you're going to like a lot. And we also want to deliver some nice materials for you to learn and maybe develop new stages of this technology, associated with the AGI. So the milestones of our project are: the first one, we want to have a comprehensive research plan, because since we have many materials discussing and proposing quantum computing technologies, we need to filter them first So at this first stage, we want to look at all of them and see, okay, this might be relevant and this is not for the community. This can be used for the development of one AGI and this can't. So we want to separate this to have great materials in our hands. Of course, that we are going to share with you, and you have access to this too, associated with our reports. That's going to tell you how you can do this, how you can learn about quantum, and maybe develop applications on artificial intelligence. In the milestone 2, we are going to submit a preliminary simulation investigation. So at this stage, we will have some simulations already done, and we want to share with you our results and how it can be done. And we are going to share the codes so you can download the codes and run and learn more about coding such computers and maybe creating some applications for AGI. And in milestone 3, we want to submit a project finding report. We will have expanded simulation data, refined evaluations of quantum technologies, and some integration strategies. So this part we will have ideas, and we want to share these ideas with the community and see and try to point in a future direction for all the community to explore and develop it together with us. And in milestone 4, we will have this critical evaluation report to educate the community about the technology and its implications. And we'll have also our outreach event that I count with the participation of all of you. And those are our reference that we use in our project. You are going to see the Chuang here. So it's a nice book for you to learn about quantum computation. I recommend for all the computer scientists to take a look in this book. Maybe you're going to learn a little bit about linear algebra, but I believe you all know about it. So this book is very good. Of course, that we can, I suppose that our talks and our findings are going to help you to learn using this book. And you have many other reference here that we use to write the proposal, but you have many more that we are already reading and learning using them. So that's it. So this is our project, brief overview. And I believe in the next encounter, we'll have more to share. We are very excited to be with you developing this and making history. This is great.
Wow, this is beautiful.
Thank you.
Any questions for André? Any questions? I know a lot of computer science students here. Okay, Tommy, please.
Oh, hello, Tommy.
Andre, great presentation, fantastic. Igor, you did great job as support. I want to thank you. I have a question. Quantum computing is fairly new. There are not too many quantum computers around, as I understand it, more in the cloud and stuff. Could you, because I'm a fairly dense old guy, could you explain to me Eli 5 or actually Eli 65? Is a Web3 term, right? Explain like I'm 65, which is simpler than explain like I'm 5. Exactly what do you mean when you say quantum computing? And I'm a little upset with the biography of people that you had. You didn't mention any rocket scientists. What's going on?
Oh, yeah, rocket science is really important to have one on board, right? So we might hire one. This is our rocket science because every scientific team needs one. So we have one.
Just
yeah.
one, right?
Yeah, just
Right.
one. Oh, that's fine. And then we can say this is not rocket science, right?
Exactly.
No, okay. So thank you for your question. The idea here, we have many different technologies that are exploring quantum computing right now. Because all of them are based single states. So it's something that even for us physicists is kind of strange. is when you don't have a particular state for your system. So you don't know you have a coin. If you have a coin in your desk, you can know that it's heads or tails. So, but just suppose that now you have a spinning coin. So you don't know if heads or tails. You have a spinning coin and you want to do math with it. So a classical computer will do computation using a coin that you know the face. So it's heads or tails. But a quantum computing, you are trying to do math and computation with a spinning coin, you know? So you cannot see which face is showing. And you are going to use this an advantage of having the two states at the same time. And you are going to try to have more than one coin that they can, do computation together and explore the math of such systems. Of course, that this connection is kind of hard to picture. However, in physics, we don't comprehend why the world is like this, quantum, at the micro level, but we learned how to do math with it. So we don't really understand fully the quantum mechanics, but we know that some relations are possible and other implications are true. And we are trying to implement this physics, which is closely related with probability, to perform mathematical operations. And the trick is, since you are not using zeros or ones, you are using something that is a combination of them, then you can do multiple operations at the same time. This is the idea, because you don't really need to toss the coin. You can keep them running and do the math with it. However, those systems, as a coin spinning, will face some friction from the real world. So temperature might destroy this computation. So you need very low temperature for different systems. Or magnetic fields can distort the computations. So right now, we are facing two main challenges. The first one is to develop algorithms that can use this quantum mathematics to perform tasks. This is the first one. The second one is to keep your system quantum while it is calculating stuff, because they might heat and you need to code it, to reduce its temperature. So for now, many different companies are trying this. IBM is a huge one. I know their computers. I visited RPI, which is the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, localized in New York State, and they have one. I was there. They are working with us to develop some codes, quantum codes to investigate financial markets. We are working with them. And yes, it's really huge and really expensive. So at this time, we don't have a technology that uses quantum information that is winning the game. So many different companies, they are exploring different quantum technology, because you can have quantum states in different systems in physics. So you can use cold atoms, you can use superconducting junctions, which is another animal, fantastic animal of this wilderness. So we have many different systems that can exhibit quantum properties. So different companies are trying different systems that can exhibit quantum properties, and they are resilient under different circumstances. And people are still trying to figure out which one is the best. Microsoft claimed that they had the best one. So we don't know. We are still trying. And it's really hard to have better codes using quantum computers than the classical codes that we already have. Because it's like having combustion engines. We are really good in designing combustion engines. So it's hard for you to have another engine that can produce movement and is better than our combustion zones, because we have 150 years developing them. So it's almost the same with quantum computers and classical computers. So we are pushing through and pushing very hard to have a breakthrough. Google has claimed that has some, but it's not like for everyone already. So we are still waiting and trying to develop this. So I don't know if I answered your question. I suppose that I tried.
It did, and you almost hit it so like an old guy like me could understand it, and I'm hoping everybody in the audience can understand it, because going forward, especially with your proposal and reviewing milestones and things like that, uh, deep funding and the review people need to have a certain amount of understanding. Now, if I recall correctly, quantum computing is measured in qubits. Is that correct? Now, just to spin it a little bit, as you talk about spinning, does the position of observance affect the outcome, such as in relativity?
Oh, the position?
Yeah, and
Any
where you view the computer, or the results, or the data, does observational position affect quantum computing and results?
Yeah, this is the tricky part. That some operations as observing can destroy the entanglement, the entanglement. So trying to observe what is the output will destroy. You need to generate another one. So this is easy to understand. Let's suppose that you are trying to measure the temperature of a cup of water. So it's easy. You go there and you put the thermometer there, and then you have a temperature. But now you want to do this with a teeny droplet of water, and you are trying to measure the temperature. At the time that you connect the thermometer with the drop of water, you are going to change the temperature of the drop because the thermometer is very big. So it's the same. You are trying to measure states of a system that for you to measure, you need to look. If you need to look, you need to put light on it, shed light on it. The instant that the time arrives of the system, we will destroy the state. So this is challenging for us, but we have several experiments, mainly in optics, that can help us to characterize the state. It's going to destroy, of course, but it's going to characterize the state using lasers, and you can have some great precision. However, the details of each quantum computing technology is still a part of our investigation at this time.
Oh,
I,
beautiful. Thanks for answering the question. I don't want to go deeper into the wormhole or the rabbit hole on this and
yeah.
lose everybody in the audience. But awesome presentation, great answering the question, and we look forward to hearing more and how it can help. I'm just wrapping my head around beneficial general intelligence. So, quantum is a whole new thing. So thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, we are facing this problem too. As we investigate quantum technologies and the implications to AGI, we are also looking closely at the AGI and seeing what is maybe some critical part that we believe that is missing there. But let's delve more before talking stuff, you know? So let's learn more. But it's great. It's great. Thank you for being here.
Great, great. I had a question, but I think it has been answered. I wanted to know the challenges like you face, but I think you've mentioned quite a few. As in the challenges you see ahead in running a stable quantum simulations.
Oh, oh yeah. Look, this is hard. We have some great codes that you can use, for example, to illustrate quantum simulations, because I believe that the nicest part of running quantum simulations is the quantum physics involved. So you have great codes already available that we plan to use it to expand it to develop new ones. And the critical part that I see for this project at this time, because those challenges are going to change over the course of the project, at this time is to create a material that can educate the community, aiming for a collaborative setup for the ones that want to learn more and be involved and develop great solutions. So we want to create this bridge, you know? We want to connect, oh, AGI is great. You know a lot about AGI. Look, now we have quantum. So you might want to learn quantum too. And of course, at this time, everything is so confusing. We are also facing this when working this research. However, in 5 years, we don't want we would not have the number of professionals needed for the market to work on this. We are going to need quantum engineers, quantum computer scientists, and we are trying to. Of course, that is very challenging at this time, but we are trying to establish a great foundation for them working with deep funding. So this is our uh, main goal, I believe. You know. And
Yeah,
this is,
that's great.
oh,
That's really great.
yeah, we have a question. Would quantum computers replace classical computing in everyday tasks? Not at this time. I believe not before 2030. But we need to scale down such systems. So quantum computers are still big. And we need quantum systems that can work in room temperature with energy, like noise levels tolerable for mundane uses. We don't have this setup right now. We might have because if we learn how to make great insulators from the outside environment, like magnetic insulators or conductive insulators that cannot let pass radiation, like computer 5Gs and this kind of signal. If we can develop such insulators, that I believe we will have some smaller scale of quantum computers. But at this time, you don't really need a quantum computer in your house. You can use through the web one of them. So you should be worried because everyone needs to learn this by 2030. I believe by this time we will have great applications for anyone to use. Through the web, of course. So at this time, you don't need to start saving money to buy yours. So it's okay. But learn to code, and this is what we want to help you with this.
Wow, this is really nice. Like I enjoyed this presentation and
Thank
also
you.
the conversations that we've generated through this. I think I need to read more on quantum computers. I need to read more.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you very much. Thank you for coming on the town hall to present this amazing ideas to us. And we wish you all the best. We are
thank you.
hoping things progress really fast and really cool, and you get all that you want concerning maybe funding or any recognition. Yeah.
Mhm.
And for us, we are here and we are rooting for you. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Priska. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Finally, we've come to the end of today's town hall. I want to say a big, big thank you to Deep Labs for Rama, Godfred, Stone, Rakosi, and Riad, all those who came on the town hall, Miriam, Robel, everybody who participated. André, I'm hoping I mentioned your name well. Yes. And Andrea, thank you everybody for coming on the town hall. On next week, Monday, we'll be having our X Space live event. So do well to be there. We would have our guest speaker who is our very own. You already know him, Rama. So Rama will be there to give us some insightful conversations. He will have it with Miriam. So please keep in touch. And you could find Deep Funding on X at Deep Funding. You could find us on LinkedIn at Deep Funding. And also this meeting has been recorded, so it will be posted on YouTube. If you've not followed us on YouTube, please do so at Deep Funding. And you could watch the previous town halls. And we have beautiful things also on YouTube you could watch and learn to know more about deep funding. Also, a big thank you to the amazing circle in Deep Funding, the event circle, for organizing and hosting this beautiful town hall, and also to marketing for publicity. Thank you so much for helping us and for getting a lot of people at the town hall. We really appreciate your input and everybody who reacted, who commented, who spoke. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope to see you next 2 weeks. Yeah, it's a bi-weekly event, so we hope to see you next 2 weeks. Same time, same next 2 weeks. Thank you, guys. Bye. Oh, you could unmute to say bye to
Thank
somebody.
you, Priska. Thank you, Priska, for hosting.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ayo.
Bye, Priska.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Priska.
Bye, Ayomi. Bye, Igor. Bye,
Bye.
André.
Hi, thank you.
Bye. Bye, Paulo.
Thanks for.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Emmanuel. Bye, Cardoso. Cardoso had already left me. Okay. Bye, guys. Good night.